I just sat here for like half an hour watching my belly, partially part of it filming my belly to see if she's gonna move, if I can catch it on camera, because I just realized that I spend so much of my time staring at my belly, like so much of my time throughout the day, that when I'm stressed, it's almost like a self-soothing, you know? When I'm stressed about life or about anything, all I have to do is focus on my belly and watch it move and realize that there's a person inside that doesn't care about like anything that's going on outside. She's just living in her own little world. And that's so comforting to me. That just makes me so happy and feel so soothed and safe and calm. And I just never thought that it would be like this. I just never knew what this is like. It's such a wonderful feeling. And I feel so lucky that I get to experience this. And I feel so connected to her already. You know, people say that it's different for everybody, you know, whether you feel connected to your baby or not. Sometimes I feel like I have no idea what's going on in there. It feels like it's a totally different body and it's just doing its own thing, you know? But I also feel like I've built this relationship with her. I mean, she's moving right now, actually. Just on and off. She always moves when she's in a warm bath. And this is kind of a warm bath. I don't know if you can tell, my boobs are huge. And haven't really been able to show it off so much here because it's cold. It's cold outside, and so we're always wearing big, huge, like, coats and clothing and stuff like that. But as it gets warmer, I'm hoping that I can show off my baby bump and my boobies a little more, and I'm excited about that. I also plan to go and I'll look for glasses soon so I can wear like prescription glasses instead of wearing my contacts all the time, so my eyes don't get so irritated. And so I'm gonna do that. And yeah, lately that's all life has been. It's been just thinking about the baby and enjoying myself, and I just feel very lucky to be able to do that, you know. I think that I feel very lucky that I've had periods in my life where I felt free to chase after my dreams, goals, you know. Spent a lot of time in fight or flight, and then spent a lot of time trying to get out of it. And now I feel like I'm in this sweet spot where I can just enjoy not being anything or doing anything that's like too important, so to speak. This is the most important thing for me right now, and it's just enjoying being pregnant. And I know people are like, how can you enjoy being pregnant? That doesn't make sense. You're fat and tired and your body's changing in all sorts of ways you can't control. But I think that's what it is for me, is like, I think I like not being in control. I think I like a catalyst that basically caused me to have to let go. That's what pregnancy has been for me. It's been a catalyst for letting go. It's been this thing in my life I've been trying to let go for years. And I can't, because there's things to do, there's things to focus on. things I want. But it's been like drugs, popping in a gummy or a pill or something when you are just at your wit's end. That's what pregnancy has been. It's been just like this, all right, time to let go, and it's your body telling you, and you just kind of give into it. And I don't know a lot of other things in my life that have made me, forced me to like let go, for this long. I feel like it's changed my personality in the sense that I feel totally cool with letting go. And it feels like a productive letting go too, because I get to just be with my body and my baby, and I don't feel like the world is passing me by. Sometimes I do, actually, but overall, I think part of it is also I'm not in the States. I'm not around my career vibes or whatever, just sort of out in the world with Andrew. Andrew always lets me know that it's okay to just focus on being pregnant and enjoying myself while he works hard for our future. And that's all I need, really. It's a blessing. And most people, nowadays, most women don't have that. So they're kind of like, even if their body wants to let go, they just can't, because it would be like suicide to just let go and not care. It would be, because you have a baby on the way, and what, you're just gonna like let go and not care and just let fate handle you? Check this out. All right, she was just moving. There you go. I'm really excited to meet her, and I just want to make her my world. I just want to make her everything, and I want to make her food, and it's gonna be a while until she can eat my cooking, because she'll be drinking my milk. I want to cuddle her. I want to do all the mommy stuff. I want to enjoy being mom. I think most people don't get to do that for many reasons. Number one being financial hardship. When you have to work, you have to be on. You can't really be in the mindset of letting go, which is what you need to do in order to like be pregnant and ease into like all the mommy stuff, right? You just can't. So financial hardship, but then also there's culture, like when all your friends are working and having careers and kind of out and about, then you feel behind if you are just at home with a baby, and just lack of relaxation. So I feel like being relaxed is really my thing. I just love being at home and chilling, taking baths. I'm laughing. This past week has been so hectic because we've just been out like every single day, out and about, family, friends, meeting people, family, friends, meeting people, going here and there. It's just been so hectic. And honestly, I feel like I can hibernate for like 3 days and do nothing else. That's all I want to do is hibernate. And I'm so like burned out from meeting people. I just want to be home and watch my belly move, and I want to sing. I've still been taking my voice lessons. Been doing voice lessons. I want to sing. I want to sleep. And maybe play some piano. Alright, I feel like watching a show in here. I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching this. I love you guys so much. Bye.
Alright, we've got another turmeric matcha latte. Put some turmeric, matcha, and black pepper, honey, and a drop of milk. Make it nice and milky looking. It's very hot water. Yeah, that's good. Great. Cheers. So good. This, if you have this, you don't need a latte, you don't need a coffee latte, you don't need an alcoholic drink, cocktails, none of that. I feel like I'm in a place in my life where I'm able to enjoy relaxing drinks that are relaxing, mood boosting, whatever it is, by making spicy drinks at home. And there's all kinds of spices you can use depending on what you need. You can make like ginger lemon if you want something that's a little more detoxing and, you know, kind of makes you feel better. Ginger actually helps relax you. You know, whenever I would have in Bali, what I learned was whenever I would drink ginger tea, like real ginger tea with actual gingers squished and like cooked in the hot water, the ginger would actually relax my nervous system. It was anti-inflammatory, and it caused me, especially if I was feeling restless and like thinking a lot, overthinking, the ginger was really helpful for that. And the lemon, you know, it helps too. Like all these things kind of have their own edge. And with the honey and the hot water, and it's soothing, it goes down your throat. Turmeric, obviously, also anti-inflammatory. And in here, in addition to being turmeric and black pepper, which activates the turmeric, there's matcha, like I said earlier, green matcha tea, which also has a little bit of caffeine, so it wakes you up. So it's kind of like coffee, but it's not as it's not as impactful as coffee. So some people don't like that matcha isn't as strong as coffee. But it's mood boosting. It makes you happier, helps you release serotonin in the morning. So a lot of people have matcha instead of coffee in the mornings regardless. And cinnamon, Andrew had some cinnamon added to his. Sometimes we do cinnamon in the morning in our coffee. We've recently started having sakhlav, which we make with coconut water, which is also anti-inflammatory, but also it gives you like electrolytes, you know, if you're feeling a little low energy, malnourished, whatever. Heated coconut water, milk, which has calcium, and cinnamon and honey. But actually I don't always use honey. For sweetening, I've been using, and these drinks, like, we don't use any sugar, no carbs, actually, no like gluten, some carbs actually. This morning we had bread with chickpea flour. Every day I've been trying different like naan, because I've been making it on a stovetop for breakfast. So I've been making naan that we have with like our little Mediterranean breakfasts, And I've been trying different types of flours. So almond flour, chickpea flour, I even did some corn flour at some point. Tonight I want to make a dessert that's like hot chocolate souffle, totally grain-free with almond flour, and obviously sugar-free. We've totally cut out sugar. So now I don't even have a taste for sugar, I think, because it's been a couple months, almost, we had no sugar. And so when I do have sugar, it really actually affects me. Andrew noticed that he's not wanting to eat as much. Like, even when he eats a meal now, he gets satisfied quicker. And because the foods that we've been eating at home, which we haven't been able to do in Bali, because in Bali it's just so much cheaper and more convenient to eat outside. So here, because we've been eating at home, and we've been so careful about the foods we've been eating, like even like little things, we've been really avoiding processed foods, and we try to get our fruits and vegetables and meats and stuff from the shuk if we can, because that's like the closest thing to natural, like farmers market type of food. Our friend who's here on YouTube, he introduced us. Actually, David, who you guys saw in the tour of Jerusalem video, he also like took us through the shuk, and he introduced us to some of like the really awesome vendors, and we've been going to the vendors that he told us to go to, and we've just been very selective about the foods, the spices. Like these spices, we've been mostly just eating the spices from the shuk. Another spice that we've been having every day, we've been having sumac, which is a Mediterranean spice, which I grew up eating sumac because my family is Persian. I grew up eating sumac, and like all of our foods, we always sprinkled sumac on our rice, but I didn't know that it has neuroprotective properties, and it's also good, it's also anti-inflammatory, and all these things, they help to make you more relaxed. So you don't need that extra beer, and you don't need that extra gummies and stuff like that. And that's a lot coming from me, because I have in the past needed a lot of gummies and drinks, to the point where like in Bogota and in Argentina, I was drinking 2 bottles, just myself. I would drink like 2 entire bottles of wine every single day. That was like my baseline. And then we would go out and I would drink more. And it still didn't like fully help, because the thing with stuff that's not healthy is that, and addictive, is that the more you eat, it's like empty calories. The more you eat, the more you want to eat, and the less energy it gives you. But it's so inefficient to live that way. You want to have like spices and seasoning and things that fill you up with energy faster, or with relaxation faster. So in the case of like choosing between alcohol and drugs versus like foods that are really relaxing, hot tea every night, like little things you just implement in your diet and just change your entire diet around, and really cut out the empty calories. Or in the case of your nervous system, cut out the things that artificially make you relax, that make you relaxed for a few minutes, but then bring your stress levels higher overall and make you not able to relax yourself. So I don't know if I'm making sense. This stuff is good. Yeah. So I just really love these homemade cocktails that we have. And it works instantly. You take a sip, and you know, you can say it's a placebo effect or what. But this past week, yesterday in fact, Andrew and I went to the doctor. His root canal specialist. We had to go to a special root canal specialist here in Jerusalem, because in Indonesia, they weren't able to work on Andrew's teeth. He had an infection in his root canal. They weren't able to work on it because not only did he have that infection in his root canal, he also had a sinus infection. And we were a week out from flying to Israel. So the doctor said, there is so much inflammation here, the infection is so bad, that I can't work on it a week before you guys are flying, because I can't in good conscience let you it's just going to get worse, because when you fly, it makes the inflammation bigger. So we had to go to a special root canal specialist here, because we went to another doctor here and he was like, oh, I can't work on this either, it's so big. And they said he had an ulcer in his gums. Crazy. So we decided that we're gonna try having this turmeric every single day. And you know, you can say it's a placebo effect, that it makes you relax, because every time I drink this, it actually makes me relax. Every time Andrew drinks it, it makes him relax. So you can say that's a placebo effect. That's a confirmation bias. We drink it, we expect that it's going to make us relax, so our brain tricks us into relaxing. But when we went to the doctor yesterday, he was shocked, because 3 weeks ago, this root canal specialist, who was very, very, very pessimistic about Andrew's tooth situation, he was like, this is bad. I don't think that I'll be able to save your tooth, let alone like the root canal and that whole situation. It's looking really bad. There's an ulcer. Like, he was just really, really, really not optimistic about the situation. And he basically was like, yeah, so I'll give you 3 weeks before we remove all of it, just to like see if it gets better, because Andrew said he really didn't want to remove the tooth and all that. Like, Andrew really wanted to save his tooth because he's already had so much trauma in his jaw. So the root canal specialist was like, I'll give you guys an extra 3 weeks, but I really don't think this is gonna get better. So yesterday, after 3 weeks, we went back after having turmeric like non-stop every day. I obsessively made us these drinks, and it was so yummy that we wanted to have it. And it was also relaxing. It's like drinking. It's like having a cocktail. I'm not kidding. So that, plus we've been having a lot of garlic and onions and turnips in our diet. So, and then all these spices. But it was mostly turmeric. That's what we mostly had. All day, every day. And I even would sprinkle turmeric in our soups anytime we had soup. Maybe I would say every day about like 2 or 3 tablespoons of turmeric. Like, just drinking down 2 or 3 tablespoons of turmeric. Both of us, each of us. The dentist was amazed. He said the ulcer was gone. After 3 weeks, it was gone. The infection was gone. And he was so shocked. He was just like smiling. He couldn't believe it. And he said, can you guys just come back like in a couple months, just so I can like make sure I'm not seeing wrong? But that's what it does. And it's very cool to see. So yeah. Turmeric, guys. Turmeric is gonna save your butt. It's gonna help you. I sound like a hippie, but like, it'll help you get over your addictions. It'll help you with your infections. It'll help you with a lot of stuff in your body. And it's cheap. You go to the Shook, it's like the cheapest spice they have. And they have it everywhere. Everywhere in the world they have turmeric. So anyways, that's what I was thinking about. The other thing I was thinking about is, I was watching back the first part of this video where I was in the bathtub, and I'm like making a video, and I was relaxing. I was enjoying myself. But in the camera, what I noticed is like, I didn't look nice at all. I looked kind of like falling apart. Like, I looked like, and I almost looked like I wasn't enjoying myself, but like, I was enjoying myself. I was just so relaxed. I was in the bath. I was looking at my belly, and it got me thinking, like, there's so many people that look like they're enjoying themselves outwardly, but their body is kind of in chaos. What is happiness anyway? You know what I mean? Happiness is just like how you feel in the moment, right? But what is happiness? There's so many people that look like they're really enjoying themselves, and they're so happy, and they're just like smiling from ear to ear, and they're full of energy and life, but like, their body is in chaos. Their body is so unhealthy, and it like is just falling apart, is breaking down, because they're just denying themselves of like feelings that they should be feeling through in their body. And then on the other hand, you have people that look like they look tired and out of energy, and like they look like they're falling apart. And I've made this mistake so many times of judging someone that looks like they're falling apart and they're tired and depressed and whatever, but actually, like, deep down they're kind of happy. You know, what does happy mean? Deep down their body is at peace, their mind, their subconscious, it's at peace. And they're actually, the fact that they're able to express their feelings outwardly, like, they're kind of giving you their leftover negative energy, but like to themselves they're keeping goodness. And looking at that video from that last video from the bathtub, looking at that video of myself from the bathtub, what I realized is I look like shit in that video. I look like shit. I look like I'm having a really bad time. I look like, you know, the thing that would make people, like, the thing that would make myself when I was younger and single not want to ever get married or become pregnant, because I would see myself before looking all slim and full of energy, just like, energy bunny. Seeing myself like that, and then seeing this image of myself in the bathtub looking kind of fat and tired and just like, I don't care about anything. All I want to do is watch my show. And then I would think to myself, oh, poor second girl. The first girl's having a much more fun time. And it's very deceiving. This idea of seeing other people's feelings is very deceiving. Even seeing my own feelings, if I didn't remember the feelings behind it, if I didn't remember that when I was younger, single, and I was like working and I had a career and all these things, I was miserable. I was showing happiness outwardly because that was my pattern. That's how I got opportunities. That's how I got out in the world. That's how I made things happen, because I had to. But inside I was total chaos and miserable, and my heart was like exploding. And versus the second image in that bathtub, I look like shit, but I'm so at peace, to the point where I didn't even feel like at all like I had to look a certain way for the camera. I didn't feel like I had to put on clothes for the camera. I didn't feel like I had to like change the angle and make it look good, make my hair look good, make my face look good. I was just so at peace. I just wanted to watch my show. I wasn't trying to get validation from anyone. There was no reason to, because I was so comfortable where I was. And it really can be deceiving. Looks can be very deceiving, and it's just been a lesson for myself. It's very easy to look at people that look like they're suffering. You know, this mom that has like 7 or 8 kids. You see that a lot in Jerusalem. You know, moms of like 7 or 8 kids or more, which people in the States think is crazy, but here in Jerusalem, you see people with more kids, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, like, I mean, 17. Like, there are people with a lot of kids, and the mom sometimes looks like she's falling apart, and she just kind of like doesn't care. And to me, I look at that, I can't help it. I look at that and I think, oh, she's miserable. Like, she is just falling apart. I would never want to be her, you know? But it's just been occurring to me lately. What if she really, really, really does not gaff? She does not give a flying toot about anything. I don't want to get demonetized on this channel. She really doesn't care about impressing you or anybody around her. She kind of lives in her bubble where she's kind of taken care of. She leans on her husband or whatever, her personal structure, and she's raising these kids. All she cares about is like raising kids. They're her world. She loves them. She enjoys that. that's all she wants to do. And then you have people around her like pitying her, like, oh, poor her, she looks like shit, she probably hates her life, you know? So there's I've just been thinking about that a lot, you know, versus you see people like in the States, or I mean, I'm not trying to compare people. I got a call. Okay, so there's that versus like you see people that look amazing, they look like $1 million. Their insides are falling apart. Maybe they took too much Ozempic. Maybe they are taking too many drugs to make themselves feel good. Too much prescription medication that really, really, really has an effect on your body. That really affects people long term. They're just dying from the inside. Their body, they don't even know that they're dying from the inside, and they are. But like, people just wish they could be like those people, because outwardly they're exuding this like facade of happiness, you know? Ideally, I would like to exude happiness while feeling happy on the inside. Just pure bliss. Just be the most beautiful happy bomb. That's what I would like to exude. Like, that's what I would like to be, ideally. But it's also really important to notice that sometimes people look like they're suffering on the outside, or that they're having the time of their life on the inside, and it's really not reflective of what they're going through. Pregnancy, to me, is something that kind of forces you to align with your inner self, which is going to make you much happier in the long run. Much more long-term happy, because when you're pregnant, and also when you get sick, like if you're a guy and you can't get pregnant, you know, becoming sick kind of does that, I think, where it just forces you to, you know, it's really not fun when you've been so accustomed to working and chugging and hustling your whole life. It's really not fun, and hustling and doing like important things, right? It's really, really not fun to, at least initially, it's really not fun to be forced to lean back and not do anything, you know? It's not fun to be forced to like have less energy, even to say hi to your friends. Like, I have so little energy now, even to like, my mom calls and I'm just like, I can't pick up the phone, you know? Like, friends, I can't pick up the phone. People that I care about, I just feel so low energy all the time that I just want to sleep. That's what I want to do. I'm 7 months pregnant and I just want to sleep. Maybe more than that. Maybe more than 7 months. Definitely 3rd trimester. Yeah, I just want to sleep, eat, poop, watch a stupid show. I can't even watch a show that requires too much thinking. And it's been like this my whole pregnancy. Like, I like it, I enjoy it, but it's only because I've been intentionally allowing myself to like not care about other things. But in the beginning, it's really hard because you're getting used to a version of yourself that isn't on all the time. And that process, I think, is really important. Like, it's really important for you to go through that process if you want to be long-term healthy. But instinctively, like, a lot of us are trained to fight it. So I think that's what pregnancy is for me, is like getting used to enjoying myself without the energy to be on. Because like, ultimately, what's important in life? Like, what is it really that important to like be doing busy work all the time, you know? And you get your energy back after you have a baby, but like when you're sick or when you're pregnant, or like when your energy is kind of lower than it normally is, those are the periods of time when you're able to you're kind of forced to reflect the most and to downsize the most on the things that you do. And that's the time that you actually know, like, what's the most important to you, what's serving you the most, what's helping you survive the most, like what should you focus on the most. And then you become stronger in those things. And then you get to know yourself too that way, so that afterwards, when your energy levels come back up, which they will, your serotonin levels go back up, which they will, all these things, then you already have a much stronger foundation than you had before, because you allowed yourself to go through that process. And ideally, you allowed yourself to enjoy the process, because it's possibly like one of the most impactful times in your life. So anyways, yeah, that's what I have to say. I've also started listening to birthing meditations, like meditations that help you enjoy your pregnancy. And there's like different types. There's like meditation, like affirmations that you can listen to while you're in early labor, active labor, all these things. People try so hard to avoid the sensations in their body, but what I found with being pregnant is that there's like kind of a first for everything. There's like the initial discomfort, and the more you kind of instead of trying to fight the initial discomfort and try to like get away from it and not feel it, which it'll make it just bigger and bigger and worse, instead of trying to like fight it, like let's say the baby starts kicking for the first time or whatever, if you try to be with it and like lean into it as much as possible, then it goes away faster and you become kind of used to it and it doesn't really hurt anymore. And then you actually start to enjoy it. And I have never given birth, but I suspect that it's going to be the same thing. That you start having contractions, you start having like these feelings that are really uncomfortable in the beginning. And if you can learn how to like be with those feelings and kind of embrace them, they're likely to go away faster. Not go away, but like not be uncomfortable, you know? And it doesn't really require that much mind games. It just requires that you feel through it. It's like a rite of passage. And then you get to the other side and you're kind of like feeling even better than you did before in the first place. And so that's kind of how I'm viewing all this stuff. And I feel really glad to be in Jerusalem during like the third trimester of my pregnancy and for the birth, because Jerusalem has some of, if not the lowest cesarean rates in the world. Meaning like when you go to the hospital, they're the most likely to try to reduce the cascade of interventions that will lead to you needing a C-section. So they're going to try as much as possible to deliver your baby naturally, because that's just the culture here, because I don't know why, because people have a lot of babies. So the culture is very like natural birth oriented, and a lot of people come here for natural birth, same as they did in the birthing clinic in Bali. But imagine that, but in the hospitals. The hospitals are very natural birth oriented, which is not very common. And because most hospitals around the world, they want to do C-sections because that's how they make money, you know? In Jerusalem, like the hospital with the highest C-section rate is, I think, 11%, you know, compared to other countries, including the United States. You have in the 30s, between like 20 and 40% cesarean rate, which means like 1 in every 3 women that goes to give birth is gonna have her entire belly split open with a knife to get the baby out, even if she doesn't necessarily need it. And like, who needs it is kind of like subjective question, because a lot of people think that after you've been in labor for 4 hours, then you definitely need a C-section. but there's a lot of people in the world that have longer lifespans, that have had a lot of children naturally, that have healthier bodies, that have not had to do surgery, that have not had to tear their muscles, their wombs, their bellies open with a knife in order for a baby to come out, that will agree with the idea that a more natural way that is less traumatic on your body is possible. And so anyways, so Jerusalem is has kind of been a place that really, so far in the hospitals, it looks like they really care about that a lot, which I don't necessarily see. I didn't see with the doctors in Colombia and the hospitals in Colombia. I didn't see with the doctors' hospitals in Bali. I didn't see that in the States. It's cool to see that in a hospital system. All right, so there's my rambling for today. I'm gonna finish what I have left of my little turmeric matcha latte, and I'm gonna go and play some piano. Babe.
Yeah.
Can I bother you to show off my outfit?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
Oops.
My jacket. This is.
Come here.
Andrew always looks good, so he doesn't. There is no worry of him looking frumpy in his outfit.
That's not true.
I feel like because of the cold weather, I'm always looking frumpy. Is it weird to film in Jerusalem? Is it weird to vlog in Jerusalem?
It depends.
I feel like people don't vlog here. Fabrics, lots and lots and lots of fabrics. Just so many of them. Coffee bean. It's actually a really nice coffee bean, and they have these like insane hot chocolate soufflés. That's what inspired me to make my own at home. And it's like gluten-free, and they have like a whole huge menu. It's not like a normal coffee bean. And you can actually work here, which is rare for Jerusalem. It's rare to find coffee shops that you can work in. Down there? There's another one. Oh, there's a few of them here. There's another one here. And their friend's about to come over. And there's another one over there.
It's an orange one.
My man in Jerusalem. Hold on, I have to take a picture of you.
I don't know if this will work properly. I just want to try it.
This is so cute, Sally.